going to record now.
Good morning, All Souls artists. Today, I'm going to help you all to make a journal. A journal is a place where you can record your thoughts, your wishes, things that you are grateful for, things that you're scared of. You can also copy things from books, write poems, draw pictures. I'll start with a basic journal, and then we'll have an extension where I'll show you that you can make little booklets to go in your journal to make them a little more exciting. So first, what does this journal look like? These are some examples of what the journal will look like when it's finished. And these are the supplies you will need. You will need scissors, a rubber band, a stick of some kind. It can be a chopstick from a carryout. It could be a pipe cleaner, a pencil, stick from the yard, and a plastic card, like a file card or a membership card. You will need plain white copy paper and colored cardstock or a file folder. If you use a file folder, cut this larger piece into 8.5 by 11. First, the folding. For the folding, make sure your corners are touching. Go down to the middle, out to the sides, and then use your plastic card to make a tight crease. Do that for your papers as well. Then nest your papers inside of your cover. 4 or 5. Next, we're going to cut a V shape into your spine. This is the spine part. You need kind of heavy scissors. If you don't have strong scissors or strong hands, you might need a grown-up to help you with this part, or just use fewer pages. Cut the V. And now open it up to the center. Use your rubber band, fold it, tuck it from the inside to the outside, and put in your stick of whatever kind you chose. Pull it through, and then use the other end of your rubber band, put it through the other hole, grab your stick, and put it through. Hold your book closed, and then use your plastic card to reinforce the spine. And there you have it. That's your basic book. Now, you might say that that's a little boring, so we can decorate it. You can decorate it by using just a plain image that you find, then you cut out. Or you could use a ruler and a marker and just draw lines. You could squiggle a piece of paper. Just cut a piece of paper in a squiggle. Or you could collage it. Take all kinds of elements and stickers and things you have around the house and glue them on. You will notice that there's a piece of paper on the cover on which I put the design. And the reason for that is if you make a mistake, you haven't ruined your whole cover. You just ruined a piece of paper, no big deal. You make another one. So that's it for your basic book. But remember, I told you we could make it more exciting. There's an extension. The extension makes little booklets that can go inside. Let me show you what I mean. In this book, I have pockets on the side, and in the pocket is a smaller book or booklet. I've done 4 different ones. I'm going to show you each one. You can decide to do 1 of them, 2 of them, all of them, none of them. That's totally up to you. First, the pocket. For the pocket, you're going to need half sheets of colored paper. Fold your sheet in half. Again, use your card to make it tight. Open it up and cut a little bit off of each edge, like this, and then at the crease. Do that on both sides. Now fold this edge in and either glue it or tape it, and you have a little pocket. Make as many of these as you like. Now we have to make the little booklets that go inside. This one is one of my favorites because it's almost like magic. It's called A Book from One Piece of Paper. You fold it in half. Again, crease it. Open it the other way and fold it in half. Crease it. Fold each side to the middle. Open it up. And fold it this way. That's sometimes called the hamburger fold. It could be a veggie burger. And now we cut along this fold just past the side folds. Just past this, just a smidge. Open it up, and here comes the magic. Well, yeah. Reinforce that fold. Here comes the magic. You have a book. All right, so that's one of them. A book from one sheet of paper. You can also do a book with the butterfly stitch. Some of you learned this with me last year, and we did it with needle and thread, but you can do it just with scissors. Again, your half sheets of paper, fold them in half. This one's going to be the cover. Fold it in half, and then nest them in each other. Okay. Now we're going to do that same V that we did before, but we're going to make 3 of them. 1, 2, and here's the third one. There. Now, yarn. You can use a straight piece of yarn that's about 3 times the length, the height of your book. You can use it just plain. Or what I've done is I wrapped a little piece of tape around the end of it, kind of like a shoelace, just to make it a little easier. You don't have to do that if you don't want or don't have the tape handy. From the outside to the inside, on the middle, to one end. Pull it through, leave a tail, go to the other end, pull it through, and back out the middle hole. Now this is the only part that's a little bit tricky. Make sure that this piece is in the middle of the two strings. Okay? Tie it into a knot, and you can either leave it as a knot, a double knot, or you can tie it into a bow. That's totally your choice. Cut off the little tape end. Our second book, booklet. This one is called a spine lock. And here we use the paper itself to fasten the book. Again, half sheets of paper, folded in half and nested. You can use a colored sheet for your cover. You need a ruler and a pencil for this one. My pencil seems to have disappeared, so I'm
You
going
used
to
it for your spine.
take the pencil from my spine and use that, or just scrunch it up a little bit like that, okay? I need a 1/2 inch. So I measure 1/2 inch at the top, a 1/2 inch at the bottom. Connect those two. And now with my scissors at an angle, I'm going to cut 2 lines to that margin. And then I'm going to do 2 more. I can do them in this direction or I can do them in that direction. Let me do it this way. I think it's easier for you to see it. Like that. Fold it in. Crease it. Here's one I've already started. Fold it in and crease it. Then fold it back the other way and crease it. Then open your book carefully and tuck this inside. That's what's going to lock your pages together. Pull this one inside. Okay, so that's what we have. I have a 1-inch piece of cardstock. This one is actually a scrap from my file folder. I'm going to fold it in half. You kind of have to massage it a little bit to get it to fold in half because it's so stiff. Glue it on the inside. Open up your book and use this to lock your spine, thus calling it a spine lock. And that's what this one looks like. And now the last one, which is, again, one of my favorites. It was developed by Paul Johnson, who is a British teacher and bookmaker, and he calls it the telescope. So, again, 2 sheets of the half paper, folded in half. Two more sheets, folded in half. And now I need to measure 1.5 inches from each end. I'm going to have to use my funny little pencil again. 1.5 inches. Inch and a half. So in each case, I put the dot on the spine where I folded it. On one of them, I cut from the bottom to the dot, and then from the top to the dot. And on this stack of 2, it's a little trickier because you have to fold it sort of Try not to crease it any more than you have to, but you need to make a hole big enough to get your scissors in. So, do that. Now I can get my scissors in here and cut up to this dot. And then up to this dot. Okay, so that's what we have. And here comes the telescope. Take this one. There are two sheets here. Kind of roll it like this into a rough telescope. Stick it through. Pull it gently, and it just pops into place. And we have another booklet. Okay. Let me show you some possibilities of what you can do with these. It's actually up to your imagination. Whatever you can imagine, you can come up with. Let me show you just as an example. So, this side pocket, this was a book from one sheet of paper. I put a piece of tape around it, and I cut out a butterfly wing from a piece of wrapping paper. And it fits right into the pocket. This is our spine lock. I used contrasting colors. This is our paper from our book from one sheet of paper. I had some colored wrapping paper. I made two of them. I put a piece of decorative tape across the middle to make it into two pockets. And so I have two of those books from one sheet of paper. And this is the one that we did the butterfly stitch with. And I decorated it with tape, and then I decorated the pocket with tape. So, this is your book of booklets, or your journal of booklets. You could do something different in each one. I hope you enjoy making your journals, and I hope even more you enjoy writing and drawing in them. Take care. Bye-bye.